Sometimes it just feels like life is just beating you up relentlessly. You try something new and it doesn't work out, so you go back to what you're used to and that doesn't work out either. And then randomly life just decides to throw a big obstacle in your way. No care for whatever you've already got going on, by the way. It just says, here's a big obstacle, deal with it. And I think like a lot of you watching this video, I've had my fair share of random obstacles thrown my way, which has taught me some very important lessons that I'm going to share with you. You can actually choose to see the good in things. You can actually choose to not let things affect you so much. You can get yourself in a position where you're able to sort of take a step back, try to understand what's going on, try and process everything, and then think to yourself like, okay, cool, this and that is going on, but do you know what? At least I've got this going on, or I've got that going on, or at least it didn't get to a point where, you know, it's a complete disaster. And I'm not saying this to sort of downplay the things that we go through on a day-to-day basis, but I feel like sometimes we kind of give too much power to the things that we have going on around us. You know, sometimes things are only as painful as we allow them to be. And I feel like that's something that I've always kind of known a little bit, but I kind of always thought about it as like a cliche and never really paid any actual attention to the fact that I can actually choose to see the good in things. You know how everyone says stuff like, oh, every cloud has a silver lining and that sort of stuff. And it wasn't until recently that I really started to actually take that into consideration a lot more and kind of use it in my day-to-day. And you know what, that's the thing, sometimes I feel like our default setting is to almost kind of react straight away. If something negative happens, our default response is just also a negative response as well. Like something bad happens, we also respond badly, kind of thing. And I think we kind of have to rewire that thinking a little bit. And I started doing it recently, and you'd be surprised at how much of a difference it actually makes. And this doesn't necessarily have to be with like major things that happen in your life. Sometimes it can literally be like the smallest things. For example, like sometimes when I'm driving and someone does something that really irritates me, that makes me mad, like my sort of default setting would normally be to kind of, you know, it would be road rage. Like I'll just be angry and mad, like I just kind of want to scream and shout. But lately I've been kind of thinking, do you know what, cool, they just did that, it's whatever. Like me shouting, me honking, it's not going to make a difference to my life, it's not going to make a difference to their life. Whatever's happened, it's happened. So let me not make it worse on myself. Let me not let these negative feelings overpower me and overcome me. Let me actually conquer them and just be calm. And one thing I'll say is, even just the fact of conquering those negative feelings, even just that, it kind of makes you feel good about yourself. It kind of makes you happy that you were able to go against your default setting. And it's kind of like something that I wasn't necessarily looking for, but I kind of just came upon it and I was like, whoa, this actually works. Because obviously after that I started using it everywhere else as well. I started using it at work, I started using it when I'm out in public, just whatever I'm doing, I started kind of using that. And what I realized is that this whole time I had been given so much power to all these negative things that had been happening to me. And there was times where I think, oh, like, why is this happening to me? Or why does this have to happen? And I'd sort of dwell on that feeling, on that negative feeling, and sort of get in my head and think about it. But lately I've been more so on the wave of just, okay, cool, it's happened, but let me actually sit down and think about it in a way where, can I take anything from this? Can I learn anything from this? Is there a lesson to be learned? And if there is, great, I'm able to recognize that and I'm able to sort of take that as like a small win. And sometimes that's literally all you need. Sometimes when life is beating you up, you just need that one win, that tiny little win, just to make yourself feel better, just to kind of get you going and kind of keep you afloat, sort of thing. And that's what I've been doing, finding joy in the small wins. And trust me, don't knock it till you try it. You might be sitting there thinking, oh, I'm just saying a bunch of cliches, but when you've actually tried it for yourself, that's when you realize that, you know what, this actually isn't so bad. And it almost feels like your eyes have been opened, or like the world has been opened up to you in a way, and it's a new kind of feeling, and it's kind of exciting to think to myself, oh, I can't wait to approach that thing with this new mindset or this new thing. I kind of can't wait to see how it affects me now that I've got this sort of mindset. So I'll say it's definitely made me a lot more excited about the world and about the experiences that I'm going to have. And that's the beautiful thing about this world as well. I feel like no matter what you've got going on, there's definitely something that you can take from it that is positive. No matter how negative it is, that thing that you're going through, there's definitely that one little thing, that one little small win that you can just sort of take for yourself. And yeah, you gotta kind of work with that and try your best to see the good in things, see the good in situations. But a lot of the time it's a choice that you have to make. It's not just going to happen. You kind of have to really commit and make the choice and really think, okay, cool, I'm going to choose to see the good in this. Once you're able to do that, you can then let go of all that negative emotion that's sort of weighing you down, ruining your day, and overall your quality of life actually gets a big boost. So if you need a reason to start doing it, that's literally your reasoning, there you go. Just to improve your quality of life, just to go through life feeling better about yourself, feeling better about your circumstances, feeling better about the future, feeling more hopeful. And if you think about it, it's almost like the glass being half empty or half full kind of scenario, where one person, you know, goes through life thinking that their glass is half empty, and another person goes through life thinking that their cup is half full. They might be living similar lives, they might be living the same exact life, but the person who feels like their cup is half full will definitely have a better quality of life, because at the end of the day, it all comes from up here. It's all about how you choose to react to things. It's all about how you kind of let things affect you in a way. So yeah, what I will say before I go off is, if there's anything that you've got going on, or if anything does happen, just remember that you can actually choose to see the good in things. And if you do, if you're able to, it will make a world of a difference. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.